So, Free Weezy album on every streaming service you could think of. It was a Tidal exclusive. Birdman did what he did to take it down. We know the history behind that. You know what I'm saying? Now, off top, the songs that wasn't on the project was He's Dead, I Feel Good, Thinking About You, and Without You. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because copyright issues, samples, or whatever the case may be, they wasn't there. Now, it's been forever since I listened to the project. So I went back and watched my original review of it, the first review from 2015, and basically everything still holds up to a point. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I don't know what it was, but playing it in 2020, it has a better sound or whatever the case may be. Because songs that I probably really wasn't feeling, or won't even say feeling, I thought was okay. I don't know what it was. Did they go in there and tweak the production? Is some of the records sampled different? I don't know what it was. But the only song I really wasn't fucking with, listening to it in 2020, was The Living Right featuring Wiz Khalifa. I really couldn't fuck with it. Everything else I like everything. The change beat on Glory threw me off though. I was just like, oh shit. He dropped the video for it, and I'm like, wait, damn. It don't have that same impact. Like if you even go back and watch the BET live performance of it, it don't have that same oomph. It don't have that. I mean, it's cool, but it don't have that same thing. You know what I mean? And My Heart Races on. I still feel like that was okay. London Rose, like I said, he spoke on when he shot himself. I'm That Nigga featuring Hoodie Baby sounded even better, and Hoodie Baby's not that bad. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe time went on and I was not really fucking with it back then, but now it seemed to work. Psycho was good. Murder featuring Corey Guns, Jesus Christ, he killed that shit. You know what I mean? It's just insane that I don't know why he didn't get more promotion, why Wayne didn't put him on more. I mean, it's only so much you can do, but for him to have a skill set like that, he should have definitely thrived. You know what I mean? More in Young Money. I would have put more backing behind him instead of Euro. No offense. Post Bell Ballin', crazy. Wayne went off on that shit. Pull Up featuring Euro, crazy. The hook was weak though, but I did like Euro back and forth a little Wayne. I thought that was straight. White Girl featuring Jeezy, that shit slapped kind of hard though. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was when I listened to it back then, but I was just like, oh, this shit crazy. Pick Up Your Heart, that's Wayne on his R&B shit. It's all right. Streets, Chains, Wayne went the fuck off on that. And the newer record was We Living Like That. Everything about that shit was crazy. His flow, the beat, Wayne just went the fuck off. So I'm like, damn, why is it in 2015 I was like, it's all right, it's cool, it's whatever. But in 2020, it seemed to be fire. Is it because we've been having a Carter 5, we had the funeral, or it's just new Wayne? It's not new Wayne, but at the same time, it's new Wayne, if you get what I'm saying. And my favorite songs were Psycho, Pull Up, We Living Like That. You know what I mean? Those three were just so fucking crazy. And I'll throw in Post Bell Ballin', and I'll throw in Murder, because it's just Corey Guns' verse was just fucking insane. Junior Reed, I mean, damn, that really didn't age too well. If you don't remember him, he used to work, he did a song with Joel Santana. He was on the hook of One Blood, I do believe, with Game. You know what I mean? I think Khaled, I want to say Khaled signed him. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, the Free Weezy album in 2020 sounding fucking fire. And you looking at it like, at least me, with more music that's newer access out now, this shit holding up. You know what I mean? And a lot of albums dropped that day. Gucci, West Side Gun, and Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke album's solid. West Side Gun album is, it just seemed off. I don't know what it was. It just seemed like it was lackluster. I didn't listen to Gucci, so don't ask me about that shit. But yeah, man, Wayne with the Free Weezy album, I wonder, what was it that actually had him to be able to put it everywhere? I mean, because you got to clear samples and clear records and shit like that. So I know that was a little bit of bread, but that's actually dope that niggas got together, whether it was him, whether it was Rock Nation, and was able to do that. Because, now I feel like this album should get the love and appreciation that it didn't get 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, what other projects that Wayne was supposed to drop, or songs and shit that really didn't drop, that it made me want to think well, shit, what else could Wayne do, since we in a mode of dropping old projects, you know what I mean, old songs and shit. Because when he was originally going to release the Carter 5, Crazy was the first single, and that's not even, it's out, you can buy it, but it's not even on the Carter 5. So I'm like, okay, it has to be another version of the Carter 5 that we ain't hearing. I still believe that it's two versions of the Carter 5 because those sessions was crazy. And there was a lot of other records that was post had made the Carter 5, but it didn't. But Crazy was on the ones to where, okay, this is in a line of a Millie, 6'7". Crazy was that joint. So it's like, where are those sessions at? You know what I mean? Because I know he definitely worked with Street Runner a lot. And I just feel like it's still a lot of songs that Wayne didn't put out for the Carter 5. And I mean, he did a deluxe version for Funeral. I'm quite sure he can do a deluxe for the Carter 5. I just feel like he could. And then there was some crazy songs that we ain't even heard. Because that can't be it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we know Wayne, when he does albums, you know, he just go in there and record. So we know each project he drops, it's an abundance of music from that session. And that's why I'm like, he need to get back with a certain A&R. He needs a better A&R to go through and find the people with all this Wayne music. Because we heard from multiple producers that they got a fucking stash of Wayne records, Wayne verses. And if you remember when he was doing the Carter 3, we still haven't heard all those songs, you know what I'm saying, that leaked and was on mixtapes and shit like that. It's still an abundance of records. Shit, even David Banner a couple years ago said he got an abundance of Wayne records. I know Kanye has some Wayne joints, you know what I mean? So it's just abundance of music that I feel like we haven't got. And at the end of the day, I mean, Wayne is free now, so we got the Free Weezy album. But I still feel like he could have added something more to it, you know what I mean? And I feel like these songs are cool, but they still out there. I mean, it's not hard to find these songs or whatever the case may be, but I definitely feel like the production is a little bit different. And the sound, the quality is just so much proper than it was when it first dropped, if you get what I'm saying. But it's solid, though. I've been running this shit back a lot. It's still hard to listen to Glory, though, because that beat, it ain't the same, man, you know, and it's hard to listen to that shit. But I've been listening to Pull Up a lot, Murder, Post Bill Ballin', you know, and We Living Like That. I just throw it in a playlist or whatever. And when I make playlists, just because I pick maybe 5 records off a project, that don't mean I didn't like the project, but those are the songs that stood out for it. If anybody be wondering when you make playlists, I just pick the songs that stood out the most to me in my playlist. But yeah, man, I feel like the Free Weezy album definitely held up 5 years later. You know, I didn't really see a lot of people actually talking about it because, like I said, a lot of channels already reviewed it 5 years ago. So it's just like, oh, he releasing the same project. But if you really listen to it, it has a different quality sound to it, in my opinion. So I just wanted to, on the anniversary of it or whatever, just give my thoughts of how I feel about it years later. I don't really do that to too many albums. I see people do that where album drop in 2012 and they'll wait 5 years and see if they go back to it and do an anniversary video and shit. That's not really my thing. I mean, sometimes I just feel like a lot of people be lying. You know, when was the last time you went back to listen to, you know, an album that dropped 3 years ago? You know, so it is what it is. People will say what they say, but this is one of the albums that I couldn't find anymore because of title, and I'm not getting title for this shit. So when I heard the news, I was just like, I believe it when it's in my ears. And lo and behold, it came 9 o'clock and that shit was there, and I listened to it, and I was just like, why am I not skipping a track? I'm playing it all the way through up into track 9, and I listened to the whole shit, and I'm like, damn, well, what the fuck was I thinking about in 2015? What was the difference? Because this shit totally don't sound the same. It sounds more crisp, more sharper, and Wayne just... his rapping ability is crazy. I still don't see why people say that nigga should retire. He's trash. He's washed up. I don't see it. Because it's still shit Wayne said albums ago that niggas probably still ain't figured out what he's saying. You know what I mean? Not saying that he's like on Lupe level or some shit like that. But I'm saying Wayne said some shit to where you don't catch it at first. And then years later, you're like, oh shit, this nigga is crazy. You know what I mean? Just sitting here thinking and shit. It was a bar that... I was thinking about in my head that Wayne had said, and I'm just watching TV and that shit just popped in my head, and it's like, wow, I got what he mean now. That's crazy. I can't remember the bar though, but it be shit like that when you go back and listen to old Wayne songs and shit like that. It's like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time. So sometimes with music, it's great to let it breathe for like a year or two and then go back and listen to it, because your mindset is different when you first heard it to years later. You know what I mean? You focus a little bit more to see how did it hold up. So, yeah, this album definitely held up, man. I gotta give Wayne his props. Free Weezy album is definitely dope. So, hopefully he do drop some more music this year. And it's good to see him because, I mean, you gotta realize that, remember all the years that he couldn't put out music and it was no albums, it was like a few mixtapes, but then it was just like a drought on Wayne features and albums. It was cold out here for Wayne, you know what I mean? So it's good that in the last few years he's been putting out music again, so that's good, you know what I mean? So hopefully he can start releasing new material. I mean, the old material is cool, but I just feel like if you're gonna do that, just flood the fucking internet with that shit, you know what I mean? You could definitely put out a project with 100 fucking songs on it if you wanted to, but yeah, so hopefully Wayne drops some 2020 music, you know what I mean, and some features and shit like that. But what did y'all think about the Free Weezy album? Do you think it held up or you think it was lackluster still, 5 years later? Let me know, man. 1.